All right. So, hi, good evening, Kim. Welcome to our class, LMS BAP IELTS4B. All right. So, again, for this evening, I'll be your teacher, Miss Cha of Alaska English. Okay. So, before we proceed to our lesson, can I ask, how are you today, Kim?
Today I feel quite good.
Good. All right. That's nice. All right. Because last time, during our class last time, I think you were very tired from school.
Yes.
You do a lot of things. Okay, I am very happy that right now your mood was settled a bit. I mean, it's changed. Like, because sometimes when I see my student that they are sad, it seems like I'm getting sad too. I don't know why. All right. Anyway, so I'm glad that you were happy for this evening. Okay, so by the way,
Yes.
Kim, what we had for this evening is like some sort of listening, reading, and vocabulary enhancement. Okay, so if I'm going to ask you what will be the first one you want to study for tonight? Reading, listening, or vocabulary?
First, you mean I have to study all of them, but I will choose one first.
Yes.
I choose listening because my listening is not good.
You mean you're going to choose what? Sorry. You're going to you reading. Reading is your choice, correct?
Listening teacher.
Ah, listening. Okay. All right, here.
I know
Oh,
teacher for vocabulary.
vocabulary. What is the right one? Okay, it seems like you're confused. Okay, all right. So anyway, with this one, actually,
Yes.
I didn't put this on PowerPoint because I think there's no point in putting them on PowerPoint. It's just that I just wanted to show with you. All right. So in here, what I'm going to give you is like this. This is from one of the great teacher in IELTS, by the way. So this is from
Yes.
teacher Jackie. So this is like for her, it says that it is definitely worth learning technology vocabulary, right? Because as the moment passes by, all right, we should also adopt from the word itself, right? As the world evolves, another word is also created. Now in here, it says that technology is such a big part of our daily lives that there's a good chance it will feature in your IELTS exam. Okay. Actually, what makes it quite difficult, it's that it is a broad subject. Okay, as we know, when we say broad, meaning there's a lot of topic to talk about. It's very a big topic, right? A general topic. But with this one, she suggested that when we talk about a certain topic about technology, somehow these are the topics that might appear. It could be how and when you use a computer, your favorite websites, okay, what you use the internet for, how technology impacted on education, technology in the workplace, and modern devices and gadgets, okay? So these are the certain topics that she think that might appear on the IELTS exam. Okay. So with this one, all right, so here what she suggested first is this one. First is common technology vocabulary is highlighted in bold, meaning the darker one. So I have here first some sort of example on how you can answer a certain question. For example, in here, how often do you use a computer and for what purpose? Take a look at the example. Kindly read the answer.
Yes. I use a computer every day, mostly for my work. I'm a copywriter, so my job involves involve is data. A
Involves.
lot of work
Okay.
involves a lot of
Okay.
work processing emails or time. I love to connect with my friends and family back home on social media.
Okay. So with this, you
Yes.
asked me what is involved. When we say involve, it's like require. Okay. So it's like
Yeah.
involve means require. How about you? How can you answer that question so on the example that we have, it's like this is from a perspective of a copywriter, right? How about as a student? How can you answer the question how often, right? Meaning how many times, how frequent, right?
Yes.
So with this one, So from a perspective of a copywriter, she said she used a computer every day. Okay, how about from a perspective of a student? How often do you use a
Uh,
computer and for what purpose?
I often use computer when I have it's like hard difficult homework. I
Okay.
will I will check it in on Google and sometime in the evening I will study English, so I have to looking for this
So,
looking
so
for
sorry, what's your answer? I use a computer mm,
every night.
every night. Okay, all right.
Yes,
Very good. Okay, good.
every night to
Because I thought you didn't answer the question. I'm about to say that you should answer the question first before you put on idea. But anyway, sorry, I didn't catch up on that part because I update my TA that we adjusted time. Okay, anyway, so all right, so as a student in your perspective, you use a computer every night, all right, mostly for your studies. You can in here what did I told you last time? You can do like some sort of paraphrasing. Mm. You could say as a student, um, it has a lot of. You could use this one, right? In my doing my homeworks, okay. I use word processing, also PowerPoints like that. You can use that one too, right? And on my social media, name some social media. Like for example, social medias like Facebook, Zalo, like that. So just for you to have like some sort of you can it's like for you to showcase a lot of words, meaning to show that you have the knowledge, all right? So how about with this one? Another one is in here. mm, all right, we are going to skip number two because I think number two is more applicable for a working or an adult already. How about with this one? Which device do you prefer to use for browsing the internet or surfing the internet? Which device do you prefer? All right, can you read first the example that we have?
uh I'd sooner use my laptop to surf the internet, as you can see so much more on the large screen than on a smaller device. If my laptop is weak up, I tend to on
Browse on my iPad.
browse on my iPad to setting botting up the computer.
Okay, all right. So how about you? So in here again, the bold letters or the bold words, they
My
are mm,
my camera is not
mm. How about
enough.
you? What is your
Um,
perspective?
I use I usually use phone smartphone to surfing the internet.
Okay, why?
Um, Firstly, I think it's like convenient and I can mm, yes, it's so convenient.
All right. Um, with this one, you could say that I want you to talk about it more. Like, you could share why. Like, for example, as a teenager, you can share that you're a teenager. I'll choose a smaller device. Okay, remember you need to showcase a lot of vocabulary, right? So as a teenager, I sort to I as a teenager, I prefer having a smaller device like mobile phone or smartphone. Okay, you need to play with the words. Okay, we don't just focus on the basic ones. Remember, this is a preparation for IELTS, right? We need to showcase that we know a lot of words related into it. So in that case, a smaller device because correct it because of its convenient I can travel whenever, I can do anything with my phone. I can study online. I can listen to the music. I can take a picture. So for me, you can explain that one. I can also browse the internet. Okay. So meaning you explain why you choose the phone. You could say that it has a lot of purpose, right? It helps me with a lot of things, and I can do everything in just a hand, meaning you're just holding it. Do you get it, Kim?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So now, so how can you paraphrase your answer?
Um,
Mm,
as a teenager,
mm.
I think lot. I think smartphone is
The
it.
most suitable. The most
Yeah, the
suitable.
most. Yes, the most suitable.
Okay.
Firstly, it's convenient, and when we go convenient, and we can as more we can put bring we can bring everywhere. And oh, I'm thinking.
Okay, it's okay. Go for it. Take your time.
Sao mà cứ bị gì á?
Mm.
Vâng. Ừ.
What are the things what are the things that you can do? So you mentioned that it's convenient, right? So you mentioned that you could say like this. I've as a teenager, I think having I prefer, all right, I prefer using a mobile phone, all right, to browse the internet. Okay, as of my lifestyle, I could say it is the most suitable for me because it's very convenient. I can bring this wherever I go, right, in just a hand, or meaning by just holding it with my hand. Not just for browsing the internet, it also serve a lot of purpose. You can name them one by one. For my studies, okay, it helps me to answer my homework, to communicate with my teacher, to send email, right? um to watch videos, right? So you could also say it also I also prefer this small device because it could also be function for entertainment purposes. I can listen to music using my phone. I can watch videos. I can take pictures. Okay. All right. So you could also add those things up. All right. So with this one, how about in number 4? Do you
Yes.
enjoy do you enjoy using the internet? Mm.
Um, I find it exciting using the internet because I love to learn new things. These days, you can find out almost anything online, so computers have been a real game changer for people like me who enjoy discovering new information.
All right. Okay. Mm. How about you? Do you enjoy using the internet?
Um, I said, um, I I find using the internet so so helpful. It's also have useful and harmful side. First is first is useful. It have my study and uh and when I feel tired I can use this as a I can use it to entertain.
Okay, all right. Also, by the way, when we say a game changer, it's like it could be a two different concept. It could be like a person itself. It's like it's a game changer for me. It's like something that sparks you. It's like it gives you another perspective to learn another concept or new idea, right? It's a game changer for people like me, right? It seems like it's a change for yourself, all right? A game changer. Okay? So very good. How about with this one? What sort of things do you buy online?
What
What sorts of
um
things do you buy online?
the items I buy most often online are books, sometimes ebooks that I read on my Kindle. I also both browse the internet when I need a new gadget to help me develop my website, such as the microphone I bought the other day.
All right, such as okay. So with this one, all right. So moving into here, so in here like how about this? What sort of things do you buy online?
Um, um,
Mm.
oh, so, teacher, can I
Mm.
ask the item that we use for study is what, teacher?
Sorry?
The item we use for study like pen, books, um,
Ah, okay. We call that school
mm,
supplies.
school life
School supplies. You could say
supply.
school supplies, or you could also use the term school items.
Yes. Okay. School item is the thing I buy a lot online.
All right. So you prefer buying something useful. All right, you could say like in this, you could say um buying things online is one of a tempting activity, to be honest, right? To be honest, have with this one, it's like a tempting activity. So you as a student, all right, you are a wise buyer. You could say that. I prefer buying school items or something that will serve a specific purpose. Okay, it's like because having like online items, I mean having an online account, especially Shopee, Lazada, it's very tempting because everything is cheap, right? Sometimes we tend to buy unnecessary items that we don't need. All right, so you could say that I am a responsible buyer because I only buy things that I need, okay, such as school items. All right, like that. Okay. So
Okay.
with that one, all right. So you could share your thoughts like that. Okay. So moving into what we have next is this. All right. Let me just erase this part. Okay. What we have in here is this one. All right. Ah, okay. So before we move on into this, all of this speaking, all right. So by the way, that one ends for that. We can proceed on listening. This is easy, Kim, by the way. The listening activity that I had for you is only for a few minutes. Actually, it should have been this one. There's a timer, but as I open it immediately, the timer begin already. Okay, it should
Okay.
give you the perspective. like on how you answered a certain test. Okay, so what you're going to do here, since a listening, you need to listen and then you need to answer the following question. The very first technique that I always tell to my student, before you listen, the first thing that you need to do is to look for the question. Okay, as we know, having an IELTS exam, the time is very limited, right? So the thing is for you not to waste time. You know what is your target, what is your goal. The very first thing that you need to check is the question. So you know what are the things that you need to find, what are the information that I need to remember. Okay, do you get what I mean? All right. So with that
Can you
one,
repeat?
okay, again,
Oh,
so my my
yes.
my suggestion, in every listening activity before you proceed, the first thing that you need to do is to look on the question.
Okay.
Okay? Because when you browse or you look at the question, you have the idea already, okay? What are the ideas or information that you need to remember? Because when you listen, you cannot remember everything, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
for you to have the idea on what are the things that do I need to remember, and then of course for you to save time, if you have a target or a goal already, it's very easy for you. Like for example, you need to in here, what does the speaker compare a computer virus to? Okay, so that's your first goal, and then second, third, fourth, fifth, so on and so forth. It's like you have a target already, and by that you you can you are confident enough that you're going to answer them um correctly, because that's at the first place, that is your main target, that's your main goal. Unlike that zero idea from the question, you're going to listen, and when you answer, believe me, you forget everything already. Okay, so that's why the
Okay.
very first thing you need to do is to browse on the question, which is right here. Okay. So tell me when you're ready for the listening activity. By the way, it's just 1 to 5. The first part is only from 1 to 5.
Okay. I'm
Ready?
ready.
Okay, that's a
Yes.
good thing. All right. So focus. Let's begin. Wait, do I share sound?
Good morning, everybody. Now, last week we were
By the way, Kim, I'll be turning off my camera so you can focus, okay?
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. Now, last week we were looking at the positive effects that computers have had on our society. This week I'd like to talk about one of the negatives: computer viruses. Okay, so what is a computer virus? Well, it's a software program that's been created by a human programmer with the single intention of corrupting and destroying useful programs. Put in simple terms, it's a way of causing lots of trouble for ordinary people. It's known as a virus because although it's not a biological organism, it functions in a similar way in that it looks for a host, that is, a body, your computer, in which to live and multiply, with the one aim of destroying that host. Let's go back 50 years. In 1949, the first model of a computer virus program was presented in a paper by John von Neumann. Soon after this was published, a game known as Core Wars appeared on the scene. Core Wars was initially created for intellectual entertainment by 3 Americans working on large mainframe computers. By the 1980s, for the very small sum of $2 postage, anyone could get details on how to play Core Wars and create programs that could escape from the game and destroy other programs. Computer viruses are picked up in much the same way as their biological counterparts. That is, through contact with others. And this can happen very easily, as literally millions of people are in touch with each other by email every day. Virus programs are often intentionally placed within useful programs such as commercial websites, or they're included in software that you might have got from friends or downloaded from somewhere without knowing its real source. It seems quite hard to believe that anyone would go to all this trouble to intentionally spoil the data of other people. But the rise in the number of computer software infections and the amount of lost data that we are seeing these days is proof that these attackers are going to extremes to do just that. Going out of their way to create programs that hide inside legitimate software and cause all sorts of errors that their victims will then mistake for hardware failure, believing that the problem lies with their own computer. There are many types of virus, such as worms and Trojan horses, and each has its own purpose. One function of a Trojan, for instance, is to destroy and delete files on your computer. They attack by generating a lot of email and internet traffic on your machine until it becomes completely overloaded and you can no longer use your computer. It then does the same to your friends' machines. Bad enough, you may think, but a Trojan also allows the attacker to use the victim's computer to purchase goods with stolen credit cards or access illegal websites. So, what can we do to combat these people? Well, the first thing is to realize that virus programmers succeed because people are not always careful about where they get their programs from. So, number one, be very careful. And I don't just mean that you should be careful about the source of your software. You also need to take care with emails and avoid any messages which are suspicious looking. So the second golden rule is avoid trouble. For instance, do not open any message that says, "I love you," or "win $50. A third thing we can do involves trying to find out exactly how the viruses work. In other words, we need to understand the viruses. And of course, there's a good selection of antivirus software available on the market now to combat the virus plague. So another way of protecting ourselves and our computers is to be well prepared. If you follow these basic rules, you really shouldn't have any problems.
Okay, Kim.
Teacher,
Yes.
can we play the game?
Okay, sure. Okay, with this one, we are going to focus in this part. Okay?
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. Now, last week we were looking at the positive effects that computers have had on our society. This week I'd like to talk about one of the negatives: computer viruses. Okay, so what is a computer virus? Well, it's a software program that's been created by a human programmer with the single intention of corrupting and destroying useful programs. Put in simple terms, it's a way of causing lots of trouble for ordinary people. It's known as a virus because although it's not a biological organism, it functions in a similar way in that it looks for a host, that is, a body, your computer, in which to live and multiply, with the one aim of destroying that host. Let's go back 50 years. In 1949, the first model of a computer virus program was presented in a paper by John von Neumann. Soon after this was published, a game known as Core Wars appeared on the scene. Core Wars was initially created for intellectual entertainment by 3 Americans working on large mainframe computers. By the 1980s, for the very small sum of $2 postage, anyone could get details on how to play Core Wars and create programs that could escape from the game and destroy other programs. Computer viruses are picked up in much the same way as their biological counterparts. That is, through contact with others. And this can happen very easily, as literally millions of people are in touch with each other by email every day. Virus programs are often intentionally placed within useful programs such as commercial websites, or they're included in software that you might have got from friends or downloaded from somewhere without knowing its real source. It seems quite hard to believe that anyone would go to all this trouble to intentionally spoil the data of other people. But the rise in the number of computer software infections and the amount of lost data that we are seeing these days is proof that these attackers are going to extremes to do just that. Going out of their way to create programs that hide inside legitimate software and cause all sorts of errors that their victims will then mistake for hardware failure, believing that the problem lies with their own computer. There are many types of virus, such as worms and Trojan horses, and each has its own purpose. One function of a Trojan, for instance, is to destroy and delete files on your computer. They attack by generating a lot of email and internet traffic on your machine until it becomes completely overloaded and you can no longer use your computer. It then does the same to your friends' machines. Bad enough, you may think, but a Trojan also allows the attacker to use the victim's computer to purchase goods with stolen credit cards or access illegal websites. So, what can we do to combat these people? Well, the first thing is to realize that virus programmers succeed because people are not always careful about where they get their programs from. So, number one, be very careful. And I don't just mean that you should be careful about the source of your software. You also need to take care with emails and avoid any messages which are suspicious looking. So the second golden rule is avoid
She
trouble.
is now. Can you
Good
stop?
morning, everybody.
Right.
Now, last week...
Sorry?
Good morning, everybody. Now,
She is out the meeting.
good morning, everybody.
Oh, I see. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's entering again. I think her connection is unstable.
Oh, okay, okay.
Kim,
Yes.
is your connection unstable?
Yes.
All
I
right.
just.
Okay. All right. So anyway, with that one, the first thing is with this one. Can you answer now the following question? By the way, we only got 5 questions.
Oh, it's so hard, teacher.
You mean you cannot catch up with the listening?
Yes. Can you repeat again?
Okay, all right. So with this one, if you find this hard, okay. So the first thing that you need to do is to get a pen and a paper, all right? Because the problem is you need to be familiar with different accent. What I mean is you can understand me the way I speak, even though I'm speaking English. It's because I'm your mentor, right? I'm your teacher. But enable for you to test if you're really good at the language, you could also cope up with a different person, right? Because at the first place, I'm not the examiner. In the future, if you want to take the the IELTS exam, so the problem is enable for us to improve on the language itself. It's not you focus on like one certain teacher is speaking. So that's why I allow you to have this listening activity. So if you find this quite difficult, all right, the thing that you need to remember is to have a pen and a paper, okay, because you're a beginner. You cannot remember everything if you're just listening. So it allows also you to write. So it's a collaboration of listening and writing, because as of right now you're telling me that this part is a part of your weakness, so enable for us to work on it or to create a solution to solve that certain problem, we need to, all right, do the writing. Are we clear, Kim?
Yeah.
Okay,
Em hiểu chưa nhỉ?
all right.
Đó.
Em có không hiểu đoạn nào cô nói không? Không thì anh dịch cho.
Em hiểu rồi. Thầy cũng hiểu hiểu.
Ok. Ừ.
Biết chưa?
With the single intention of corrupting.
Sorry, I
Good morning,
lost it a
everybody.
while ago.
Now, last week we were looking at the positive effects that computers have had on our society. This week I'd like to talk about one of the negatives: computer viruses. Okay, so what is a computer virus? Well, it's a software program that's been created by a human programmer with the single intention of corrupting and destroying useful programs. Put in simple terms, it's a way of causing lots of trouble for ordinary people. It's known as a virus because although it's not a biological organism, it functions in a similar way in that it looks for a host, that is, a body, your computer, in which to live and multiply, with the one aim of destroying that host. Let's go back 50 years. In 1949, the first model of a computer virus program was presented in a paper by John von Neumann. Soon after this was published, a game known as Core Wars appeared on the scene. Core Wars was initially created for intellectual entertainment by 3 Americans working on large mainframe computers. By the 1980s, for the very small sum of $2 postage, anyone could get details on how to play Core Wars and create programs that could escape from the game and destroy other programs. Computer viruses are picked up in much the same way as their biological counterparts. That is, through contact with others. And this can happen very easily, as literally millions of people are in touch with each other by email every day. Virus programs are often intentionally placed within useful programs such as commercial websites, or they're included in software that you might have got from friends or downloaded from somewhere without knowing its real source. It seems quite hard to believe that anyone would go to all this trouble to intentionally spoil the data of other people. But the rise in the number of computer software infections and the amount of lost data that we are seeing these days is proof that these attackers are going to extremes to do just that. Going out of their way to create programs that hide inside legitimate software and cause all sorts of errors that their victims will then mistake for hardware failure, believing that the problem lies with their own computer. There are many types of virus, such as worms and Trojan horses, and each has its own purpose. One function of a Trojan, for instance, is to destroy and delete files on your computer. They attack by generating a lot of email and internet traffic on your machine until it becomes completely overloaded and you can no longer use your computer. It then does the same to your friends' machines. Bad enough, you may think, but a Trojan also allows the attacker to use the victim's computer to purchase goods with stolen credit cards or access illegal websites. So, what can we do to combat these people? Well, the first thing is to realize that virus programmers succeed because people are not always careful about where they get their programs.
Okay, I think from that part already, we could stop at 344 because I think all the answer is mentioned already on that part. Okay, but anyway, with this one, um, I want to hear from you. So how about you? What is your understanding? What I did in this is I put a highlight so it would be easy for you to, all right, to answer the certain this certain question. Okay, so let's do numbers 1 to 5. What does the speaker compare a computer virus to, according to what you've read? Is it A, B, or C? Kim?
I hear biology something, so I think
A.
I'm not sure.
Number 2, we are going to analyze later. Core Wars was designed as Core Wars. Have you heard the
Number
word?
2 is can you repeat?
Core Wars was designed as A, B, or C?
Entertainment. I don't know. I hear something entertainment.
Entertainment, meaning a form of amusement. So that's your choice because you said entertainment.
Amusement.
Okay. How about in number 3? The speaker says that computer viruses are picked up because they can.
I don't know this.
Okay, but give it a shot. What is your answer? A, B, or C? How what is the answer your guts is telling you? A, B, or C?
I guess B.
B, okay. How about number 4? What does the speaker find surprising? What does the speaker find
I think
surprising?
I think B or C.
What that what does the speaker find surprising? So you said B or C, or choose another one. Is it the fact that people blame their own computers? Or what did it says? So in this one, you can eliminate that as well because it is a biological organism, meaning the person has control on it, right? Mm.
Yes.
So meaning the answer is it the computer to blame? No, right? Because it's developed, it's being developed. So the answer
Maybe.
for that's letter B, right? How about number 5? The worst aspect of a Trojan horse virus is its capacity to.
I guess C.
Are you sure the virus itself? It says that Trojan horse is
A.
letter A. That's why a lot of developer is getting scared when they talk about this certain virus because it's automatically deleting everything on your computer. Okay, so actually, Kim, all your answers are correct except for number 3. Analyze number 3. The speaker says that computer viruses are picked up because they can. I told you your answer is wrong, so B is not included already. So what do you think is the correct answer? Is it A or C? I'll give you another chance.
Number 3.
Yes. All your answers are correct except for letter number 3.
Number 3 is IOC. I guess. I like C, so I guess C.
Okay. All right. Actually, the answer is C. Hide in an official software. So with this one, the problem is like, for example, we are sharing the software, right? Like we can share Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, or some other, like some sort of other applications that we use in the computer. So the problem, according to the speaker, that is one big problem why the virus spread easily, because we are putting some software or unofficial software that has no license, right? Have you seen that there are some software that you install on the internet that you should pay, not for free, right? But right now, since people are very smart, they tend to get a copy from friends. Like they install from the software originated from a friend to another friend as they pass through the details. The problem is that is also the reason why the virus is being created. So that's as for him. Okay. So for that,
Okay.
Kim, all right. So for your homework, though I want to continue, but sadly time's up already. So we are going to continue this for tomorrow for next meeting. All right. So Kim, for next meeting we are going to have this listening. Okay. So Kim, the next part is this one.
Okay.
Give me a second.
I think it is a little bit hard.
All right. So this
Um,
one. Okay. Kim, how about this? This will serve as your homework. This one is reading.
reading.
Yes.
Can you send me on my messenger?
You want me to forward this to you?
Yes, my homework.
All right, okay then. Okay. So Kim, the problem is here's the thing, okay? So I do understand your point when you say that you find this activity hard. But Kim, how can we ensure that you are improving if we stuck on the details from the book, right? So if we stuck on the book, the problem is
Okay.
as I filter the book, I could see that the answer on the book is already available on the internet. How can I analyze if you really understood what's on the book? How can I assume since the answer is exposed on the internet? So that's why teacher is providing some other alternatives to weigh in, right? So I don't want you to settle on your comfort zone. That's why I'm giving you some challenging activities. Okay? So I hope you understand that. Okay? All right. So don't worry, there's always room for improvement. That's why we are practicing. Okay. So, Kim, by the way, do you have any question before I leave you?
No,
No question.
no,
All right.
yes.
Okay. So, anyway, so sadly, it's time for me to say goodbye. So, Kim, that will be all for this evening. All right. Sambyet, and see you next meeting. Goodbye, Kim. Have a good night.
Yes.
Have a good night, Kim.
Teacher, wait, teacher.
Yes?
Let she read my messenger, and then
Ah, okay.
so
Okay.
yeah,
You
I translate your advice to her.
Oh, thank you. You're so thoughtful. Kim, kindly check your chat box. Our TA translated my message for you. Can you check it out for me and tell me if you read it already?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you,
Em tưởng
teacher.
là cô Lý.
So,
Em bảo gì, em bảo gì?
Em, em tưởng là cô đấy nói cái gì dài dài nữa cơ, nhưng mà cái này thì chắc là em cũng nghe thấy.
Nghĩa
Em
là
em
nghĩa
thấy
là
cô nói
để
cái gì.
cái mục đích chính của cô bảo là bởi vì em đang quen nghe cô nói ấy, mà em sang nghe một người khác nó sẽ rất là khó, bởi vì nó có rất nhiều giọng khác nhau. Ví dụ người Ấn với cả người Mỹ với người Anh nó rất là khác nhau về giọng nói ấy. Mặc dù là cùng là tiếng Anh ấy, thế là khi em học làm bài nghe có thể em sẽ nghe phải những kiểu đấy, nên là sẽ rất là khó. Em nên làm quen dần với việc là phải nghe nhiều người từ nhiều đất nước khác nhau nói tiếng Anh, hiểu không? Với cả khi làm bài nghe
Ok,
thì cố gắng gạch chân từ khóa quan trọng, thì khi làm bài em sẽ tập trung về cái từ đấy, nghĩa là khi nào nó nói đến cái từ đấy là em sẽ biết đấy là câu trả lời. Đấy là một lời khuyên thôi. Đấy, còn mục đích
vâng,
chính của cô là bảo là em cố
ok,
gắng nghe nhiều người để quen với nhiều giọng của các vùng miền khác nhau thôi, kiểu giống như ở mình ấy cũng có giọng địa phương với cả giọng bình thường nó vẫn khác nhau nhiều mà, đúng không?
vâng.
Ok nhá.
Ờ,
okay. Do you
ok,
want to add more? Is it clear now?
Yes,
Okay,
it's
thank you, Kim.
okay.
All right. Okay, Kim. Thank you, TA. See you on our last class tonight. Thank you, Kim. Have a good night.